Good afternoon, Franklin High community. Here with another weekly update. I have a number of things to share, and if you're seeing this, you've just also received an email that had attached to it our schedule for the upcoming school year. I know there's been a lot of questions about when the classes will meet and how often and how will it rotate. It's taken us quite a while to get to this place, and so we're excited to share that with you. Thanks for checking in on the email. So in addition to understanding when we're going to learn, which for the most part will be the exact same as we have in the past, many reasons went into that decision, including it giving us the best chance to transition smoothly into a hybrid model when we're ready to do that. So you have that as some new information, which is great. Also, our students should be checking their email, as our teachers have been working diligently to invite them all into their different Google Classrooms, which will make for a really nice process where students who log into their Google Classroom account will have already preloaded the courses that they have on their schedule. And in those courses, they'll have information about what the class is going to be like, what some of the expectations are, where to meet, etc. And so we're excited as these first few steps regarding our return to school are starting to come into play. And please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or any of the classroom teachers, the rest of the administration, with any questions. If you're having technical difficulties, anything along those lines, we'll be sure to get back to you as soon as possible. I will say that we are communicating over email at a rate that I think is beyond what we're used to, which is fine. That's part of the new normal. But please be patient if the responses aren't right away, as that is our standard to get back to you right away, but it is at times a little difficult to meet that 24-hour response as often as we'd like. So thanks for your patience there. A few more points about things that are going on in Franklin. First off, just thanks to the hard work the teachers have put in the last 8 days or so, getting ready to launch our school year next Wednesday. I know that there's been amazing effort from start to finish across all of our departments to get aligned and share resources, and so the teachers deserve a shout out. I know they're really excited to meet the students on Wednesday. Also, the school is working with the College Board to potentially bring SATs to Franklin High School for Franklin High School students. I know many of the senior parents have been checking in, requesting information along those lines, and we are working with that group and should have some more information early to middle next week about some of those steps that can be taken. So thanks again for reaching out, and we're excited to be closer to having some real opportunities that we can begin to sign up for and plan for. Let's see. Another exciting news, I have some notes down here. That's why I'm looking at my sheet of paper. We have athletic practices start next week, which I think for those that are playing sports, that's great. But I also think for us as a larger community to getting kind of back to normal, it's one of those first steps. We'll be outside, we'll be social distancing, we'll be wearing masks. There are changes to the games and activities that we're used to seeing. But again, it'll be our first step into how can we strategize to interact with each other safely and get back to the ways which we know we love a high school for. So excited to bring those back. This past week, and what we'll be doing Monday and Tuesday as well with multiple grades, is picking up and dropping off materials, Chromebooks and low-tech options such as textbooks and other parts of the curriculum that our teachers were able to get ready and get out to our students. And so we're fine-tuning how we're going to continue to navigate this. We've talked about turning our school into somewhat of a takeout restaurant type of situation where people can come and get what they need. We're also wondering whether or not we can create our own version of DoorDash where we're able to take materials to different places depending upon the time and availability. So we are trying to flex our operations to meet your needs and to allow for our curriculum share to be as productive as possible. So thanks again for your support. We know it was great to see and wave to some of the families this week as they came to pick up, and I know our administration, particularly the assistant principals, worked really hard on putting that together. We also had our liaisons that were supportive of that, and everyone's just pitching in around the school to make sure that we kick it off in a great way. And so thank you to everyone who helped, including the families, for taking time out of their busy schedules to come onto campus and get some of the textbooks, etc. Let's see, a big shout out to our peer leaders and student government who spent time this week organizing a virtual 9th grade orientation. We're excited to see that kick off early next week, as well as, and this will be, you'll be able to see a video shared as a tour of Franklin High School. The kids really did an amazing job putting it together. I won't share it today because it's a surprise for our freshmen, welcoming our freshman students, but thanks to the student government leaders and the peer leaders for working hard to create all of these connections and opportunities. And along the same lines of ninth grade orientation, we are planning on doing many of the things that typically would have happened in high school experience. It's just going to be happening over the course of the year, not all in one week. So stay tuned for other options, including a field trip into the building before we start the hybrid model, where freshmen will be able to physically see how things are going to operate and where their spaces are, so to assist with that transition. Once again, those pieces of information will be coming out over the next few weeks. And lastly, I guess I wanted to say, putting this email out, there's over 4,300 members of our community. That includes teachers, parents, and students. And it really reminds me of the power of our organization and all of these people pulling together, pulling in the same direction, what wonderful things we can do. I know Franklin High School has a proud history of excellence across the board, whether it be in the arts, in the academics, in the athletics. People in this community want to do well. They work really hard at it. And I'm honored to be a part of this strong community, and I cannot wait to continue to work and grow and get better with all of you. And I guess on this day, this solemn day of September 11th, I'd be remiss without mentioning the importance of this day, not just for our community, but for our nation. And when I think back 19 years ago, I was teaching a world history class at Natick High School to freshmen. And this was, of course, before many of us had smartphones and there weren't televisions in every room, certainly not a computer in every lap. And word kind of started coming in slowly through drips and drabs. There was one cable outlet in our department office, and we were beginning to watch the news. And as the day wore on and the reality of what happened grew, I vividly recall the feeling as an educator and as an American citizen that we were dealing with, and the loss and sadness and how scared we were. And that feeling lasted for quite a while, days, weeks, and even months, until we got back to our normal. But our country survived and grew and thrived because of the strength of us all together. And although I would not necessarily equate the return to school or the fact that the virus has swept across our community and nation, it's not the same as September 11th, but there's loss that we've had. There's loss that we've had with life. There's loss that we've had with the expectation of the things we thought we were going to be able to do, and now we're having to adjust. And in the 2001 era, maybe family trips were canceled, or we didn't fly on planes for an extended period of time. And similarly, those things have happened here. And sports were changed in 2001, and similarly, that's happening here. And so I guess I'm reflecting with you on this day and reminding us all of the strength of our community and how far we can grow and go when we're truly together. So this day serves to me as a reminder of what we truly can overcome. Thank you, and I hope you're all able to have a peaceful weekend.